got us have a good luck. For the nights like this, put your hands up. Love the moment even from dusk. You always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that now. It's been a good day, good night. It's gonna be a good day, good night. Nothing comes between us, dancing like ballerinas under the moonlight all night long. How these plain and simple scenes get painted so vividly by you. I just wanna stay with you.
Around the world is rolling days, whenever our eyes meet, you know you leave me in a trance. It means everything to me looking down below. The one I seek to find, no matter where you might go. Remember you'll be on my mind.
Always watching over me, somehow you make me feel invisible. Power to my soul, I'm not easy things that used to bother me, cause your existence just lights me up, You always got my back, and of course I got your back. Don't you worry about that now. It's been a good day, good night. It's gonna be a good day, good night.
Within the inner heart I plead for you to talk to me. I wanna hear all the good and bad, the stories you had. As I drift across the sky, the hour hand turns high. So good night, let me sing a lullaby. I'll be singing, baby.
Hello, and good evening. Yes, I am very well aware of why you hate the the artifact creator, but it's okay. One day you'll get something more decent. Smile. You know, for the heck of it, I should probably just get on the next time I get on Genshin, I should just use it on the same exact piece that you did and just see if it happens to roll better. Well, I don't know. We'll see whether or not I
黙
actually
り
use
比
it on that,
べで
but we'll
も
see.
してるの？待って、じゃあもう負けてる。
Alright, anyways. We're here to start the event. I remember to switch to CM voiceover so I'm able to actually hear the voice more often. So I actually don't really remember what the gameplay for this event. It's like some weird, well, I can't say weird, almost all the events are like chibi like ones now, but what was it? I don't know what's the genre called. It's not tower defense, but some parts of it feel like tower defense.
You 得赶快醒过来。醒过来。
Cat.
喂，你有在听我说吗？你的脸色很糟糕，虽然不想怀疑你的职业素养，不过，你不会在上班时间用了什么违禁药物吧？那就好。 回归正题，
Oh
我需
right,
要
I
你立即
forgot
行动起来。
this event has some real interesting CGs to say the least. So we can already start off with the degeneracy, I suppose. Very nice image of Bronya.
以防万一，我还是
Okay,
再
now
复
I
述一
need
下
to.
当前的状
Now
况。
the more important part of the event is how canon is it? Cause like, cause like I don't know how much you know about the world building in Honkai Impact, but like, obviously there's like a whole bunch of different worlds that like parallel each other. So obviously we'll see characters that look exactly like
你也
the
知道，
characters that we do
我
know,
司是这座
even
城
though
市
they
里
aren't the
最顶尖
same.
的生化医药企业，尤其是在自主研发的医疗芯片失扣地诞生后，我们无疑将影响城市的未来。但也正因如此，我们的尖端技术也难免不被旧城区那些肮脏的不法分子盯上。没什么，只是想到那些无法无天的过街老鼠，就有些反胃。我想你能理解。
I'm kind of sad that the CGs here are a bit lower quality just because they had to put on mobile also and help save the storage.
我们有些跑题了。总之，我通过可靠的途径得知了一条情报：某个恶名昭著
I
的
mean,
旧
I
城
don't
区
blame
犯
you.
罪组织
I'm also
已经
suffering
盯
from
上了失扣地芯片，并且
from
很快就
storage,
会
so
袭
I
来
had to
盗取，
uninstall some of the apps, so I don't have all of the game.
将其阻止并抓获，就是作为公司安保负责人的我的职责。而你，就是我手下最好的执行者。
Oh, we're a fixer. We're the what's another name they usually the janitor, right?
好，看来你确实没有分神。没错，想必也不用我多说，你对他们应该也早有耳闻。即使在龙盘虎踞的旧城区，也属于最为危险的存在。凡是被他们盯上的目标，无一例外都被他们收入囊中。增值的莉莉，暴走的罗莎琳，嘹然的琪琪，徇庭的五月，她们便是乌尔德四姐妹。
Not gonna lie, a lot of the CGs in this event, if I remember correctly, actually went pretty hard. So, alright, we got our quote-unquote antagonists of this event. And I don't know, something about Kiana just having this, I don't know what you describe this face, but seeing her with this type of expression, which is like very not typical of her, I don't know, it hits different.
据说他们四人个个都身怀绝技，公司的安保小队也曾经吃过他们的亏，确实是不容小觑的对手。我会给予你调用公司内部安保武装的权限。即刻起，你就以这件事为最优先处理事项吧。
Yeah, I find it funny. Kiana and May's expression, definitely not their character. But Rizali and Lilia, even though they haven't shown up in a while. Actually no, they showed up in a recent event. They showed up in the last event, right? Yeah, they showed up in the last event. But not gonna lie, for their characters, I honestly kind of expect this from the two. So I don't remember when her outfit came out. Lilia's was one of the Halloween events. This May outfit came out not last year, but the year before that. And then this Kiana event was given out during one of the anniversary patches. I think it was. Dang, was it last year's anniversary patch? Man, has it been that long? Damn, that's crazy.
那么，如果没有其他问题的话，
嗨，一脸严肃的想些什么呢？
Oh, it's you. We haven't seen you
你真该看看自
quite
己
a
的
few
脸。
patches until
我叫
last
做
patch
Vita，
is chapter thing.
你不认识我也没
Yeah,
关系
next patch is the
你只需要
CN
知道我是来帮你的就对
spending
了。说吧，咱们的任务是什么？
everyone's favorite morally ambiguous character of the hour.
哎呀，别用这么警惕的眼神看着我嘛，我真的只是来帮助你的。
Yes,
而
we
且
do.
你可能比自己想象中更需要保护哦。
Oh, and here we are, main menu. This is a story born from. Alright, and then we have the chapters. Oh man, I wanted to check out. You're gonna go for Tenla's outfit? Of course I am. Are you crazy? Why wouldn't I? Well, considering how much I'm planning to get next patch, there's no way I don't get it. Like, I'm probably gonna be like almost 2 times over the amount I need. Wow, this feels. Oh, I remember. I was gonna compare this to, what was the game? StarCraft, I think? Where like send in waves of enemies, but you actually get to play as like one of the units rather than just summoning creatures like normal. Whee! Right. Can I want some funding? If only I could. Because honestly, out of all the games, Honkai Impact is probably the one where you have to be the most careful with your funding. Alright, now that we're out of that, let's go back to the main menu and take a look at what we have. We have the album. Wow, the album has a lot less CGs than I thought. What's articles? Oh, the tutorials. I'm guessing this is the endgame mode or something, or this is the leveling system. This is the endgame mode thing. Event shop. What do we have here? Okay. Well, since you're like, I never really did a, I'm gonna call it tutorial, but I haven't gone over a lot of stuff in the game, and I feel like you never had the need to ask me for anything. But I guess before we continue, since even though the patch came out Thursday, a lot of the stuff, like the real like cycles for the patches, start up again on Monday. So I think you don't really need to worry about anything. Let's see. Is there anything that resets with the patch that hasn't already reset? Assuming you can even buy any of these. I honestly don't think you can. I'm just checking just. I think the only thing you need to worry about with the Monday changing is just the Battle Pass reset. That's typically the only thing you need to worry about on the Monday following a patch change. Other than that, everything changes when the patch update happens. I I'm assuming you definitely did not max out the battle pass. So if that's the case, actually no. Even if you don't max out the battle pass, okay. So if you go to the BP shops area and go to BP Arsenal, do you still have any of the honored chip currencies? Because if you do, you should spend these before. You should spend these before Monday, because you'll lose all of them. But yeah, in terms of the priority of what things you want to get, assuming you even have enough to get everything, obviously, equipment supply would be your first choice, because it's basically one wish on the equipment stuff. Besides that, uh, it's kind of hard to divvy up what else you need, just because like you're a newer player, so you probably need a bunch of these things. But out of everything here, I don't know how hard it is to come across these fluid alloy blocks, but it's like I have so much racked up over time that you probably don't need to buy these, so you could probably skip these. You can definitely skip these two things, because even I skipped those. Honkai shards, you'll definitely need to upgrade weapons. These are probably going to be your next priority at your current state. Same thing with phase shifters. You'll amount to some of these, especially if you're not building too many new characters. You'll probably end up getting a stockpile of these, but these are also used for leveling stuff, equipment. So getting these might not be too bad. I would argue that SC medals is more important, but that's like when you, but that's only for like when you reach the later levels, and you have the signature weapons for each character. So yeah, I would say equipment supply, Honkai shards, and then between phase shifters and SC medals is probably what you want to chase next if you have any of those left. If you somehow manage to buy both of these, maybe at your current level, fluid alloy blocks might not be a bad idea if you're like running low on those. But if you're not running low on those somehow, anyone worth an ancient wolf? I don't know. A lot of the characters in Ancient Willpower are not too relevant, so you could probably skip those and just focus on Time Swirl maybe first if you want to craft stuff. But if you have stuff left over, I guess you could buy Ancient Willpower afterwards. Oh god. I mean, honestly, one day I could just sit down and look at your account. We can save that for another time. Right. Like, honestly, like, whenever the next time I stream Honkai Impact, I could just do a sit down of like, okay, what should you do as a semi-new player type of thing. Like a quick rundown. Because to be honest, even as a new player, you don't necessarily need to push the story as hard as you think you need to compared to stuff like Genshin and Star Rail. Because like what, the events, almost all the events are never tied to like progression in the story. You could just play them at any point. The only thing that you might get roadblocked is when a new chapter comes out. There's going to be rewards for playing the chapter right away, but usually they let you skip all the chapters and jump straight into that one. But of course, it's you doing it chronologically is not going to make much sense in terms of the larger scheme of the story. But hey, if you want to do it for the rewards and not miss out on them, then that's just the price you gotta pay, I suppose. But other than that, I think that's the only thing. You just play the story whenever you have the stamina to burn, and then you just keep up with all the other dailies and stuff you need.
还不明白吗，小傻瓜？你现在目光所及的一切，什么医
Have you
药
been
公司
using
的
your
大楼
stamina
也
at least
好，
to do
行色匆匆的职
expeditions
员也
or
好，还有密集
material
的安全指
daily
示灯，
material
办公桌上
farms?
上有余温的热椅，
Because if you
所有
haven't,
这
you should probably
些
start doing
都
them.
不过是一场大梦的一部分
Because
吧。
you'll definitely need those. Okay.
是吗？那你为什么这么慌张？是不是回忆不起来到这里之前的事情？哼，没关系，我倒也没指望立刻就能颠覆你对世界的认知。在你彻底看清事情的真相之前，就当我是布莱尔指派给你的贴身秘书吧。是，队长。哦，不过有一件最为
Okay,
紧要
well,
的事，
if
请
you
你
get
先
that,
牢记在
that's
心。
better than nothing.
刚刚那个世界，代表你精神和意志的世界，一定不能被任何存在攻陷。如果发生那样的事情，就再也无可挽回了。要我说，根本就不用考虑什么计划，带足炸药炸开公司的大门，直接冲进去，见人就揍翻。他们绝对想不到我们会这么干。确实想不到，因为这么干等于自杀。啊，丽丽，你是在质疑姐姐我吗？是，一堆黑曜石，哼，3个钻石。哇，笨蛋姐姐，还是一如既往的运气好。知道我的厉害了吧？只要按我的方法来，一定能成功拿到那什么芯片？是失扣地芯片了。好啦好啦，你们俩先别吵了。罗莎琳，丽丽她说的也没错，可别小看了公司的安保部队。你忘了牧者的事吗？琪琪姐，你要这么说，
Shepard from
我可没
ZZZ?
话反驳了。
No way.
这个会让你更无法反驳。4张红宝石哦，你佩服个什么劲啊？琪琪姐，这种牌你也能拿到？你真的没出老千吗？就算我出了老千，没能当场揭穿的你们，还不是输了？喂，
True, you can't call it cheating if it didn't get caught. So,
逮到你了。
哎，五月姐，你干嘛呀？我本来都要成功了，这一招我练了很久了。嘿，活该，被五月姐逮到了吧？琪琪姐，你这个笨蛋，笨蛋，笨蛋，笨蛋！别毫不遮掩的当墙头草啊！
还是谈正事吧。就像刚刚的事情一样，如果我们只是单纯的跟公司正面碰撞，一旦他们组织起有效的防卫，我们毫无胜算。所以，我们得按我们擅长的方法来进行这场游戏。
嗨，五月姐，说吧，我们怎么干？
很简单，声东
the
击西。
sparkly eyes.
这是皇家宝石满贯。什么时候换的牌？完全没有看清。喂，这不还是在作弊吗？
这局就算我赢了。好了，接下来该工作了。丽丽，为了成功拿到芯片，我需要你。
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You only really need to burn them if you're
怎么了？
actively farming for anything.
是吗？看来这不是常规的侵蚀，而是有你对之抱有强烈感知的存在在接近你。哈，我就知道，聪明如你，一下子就能理解。好啦，现在就先别说这些了，专心抵御内心世界的风暴吧。我会像刚才一样，尽可能为你提供帮助。
Build solid defense, we need crystals. Oh god, we can mine for them. Okay, we got... yes, we love our production unit. Let's give us more production. Alright, let's go. It's go time. Dodge and weave. Alright. Make a camp. Camps are trained soldiers. I want to get a nearby soldier. Oh, and then I lead them around. So, and then I have them stay here. Boys can stay. This is me. You boys can stay there. Oh wait, what? How do I select my intelligence? Alright, I forgot. Oh. Archers move with attack speed. There's HP. We love more damage. Has guys spawning here yet? Yes, we do. Get back here. I'm gonna win. Alright. But yeah, I guess in regards to the times roll passes, if you're planning to all in to try and get Senna's weapon, at least do it when you're able to guarantee it. Otherwise, I would just hold off and wait till another re before we're going for the rest of the gear. Because I wouldn't recommend, even though you have the option to craft her gear, I wouldn't recommend doing it if you're planning to pull all the way for her weapon regardless, because you're probably going to end up getting the rest of the gear. Do I have any camps I can build? No, I guess not. Oh, I can upgrade this level. Flash damage, attack speed. To attack speed, sure. Let's go. Builder plays a cushion of all constructible buildings. Give us power. Melee units. Yes, more production. You boys can stay there. But yeah, in regards to guides and stuff, I don't know if you want me to send you the person I usually watch in order to get Honkai Impact info. Like, a lot of it's probably not gonna make sense because you're a newer player, but I mean, it'll at least keep you up to date on stuff that's coming up. What is this? Power? There's some more. The production. Oh, I don't have enough crystals. Alright, you boys can stay there. Wait, why are these guys coming here to help me? Stay your post! Alright, well, whatever. I appreciate the help. Here to help. I could tell that the end game stages for this event are gonna be hellish. Grains of memory. This is probably the end game. Or is this a daily? Alright, well, we'll start with whatever this. Okay, this is probably the end game. It won't. Oh no, wait, this is. But this is the daily. Unless the end game is also tied to this. Okay, but we gotta keep pushing. Also, yeah, now that I forgot to do this the first time we came back to the menu, but bro, you can see you can see what I'm pointing at. I'll just stop there. Yes, we love the quality animation. Okay, so here I'm gonna send you the person that I use to help keep up with my Honkai Impact stuff. There is one video I want to find, even though it's like 3 to 4 years old now, but like it'll help you get familiar with some. It'll help you at least be familiar with some of the terminology and stuff. And it feels sad this person retired. Let's see, where is the guide? Oh yeah. This. Okay, I think I found the video. Okay, I found the video. If anything, I might honestly pull it up after we finish the first part of the act, and I'll just watch the video on stream. Then I could just stop and interject when things are, I wouldn't say outdated, but when new things got introduced, and then maybe clarify. I don't know if you would want that. But you can obviously tell from the thumbnail that what to expect from watching this video, and I'm sure there's probably a bunch of questions. But to be honest, most of those questions don't really matter in the larger scheme of things if you're just playing casually. Like those things only really matter if you're playing like things like Memorial Arena and Abyss to get rewards each week. I mean, sure. I normally haven't done any React stuff outside of what's it called? Outside of live streams, but it can always be a fun. Okay, we got a tower. We want more production. Fine. Okay, let's at least. Oh god, they're already suggesting building walls. This. Oh, but is that gonna stop? Oh, is that gonna stop me from going back and forth? Get some of the production going. That's not production thing. protection? Defense tower. Alright. I wonder if I could build a wall and walk through it. Let's take a look. Ah, yes, it's a translucent. Okay. Alright, let's gather up all you. Nope. Boys need to be in the fray here on the front line. Alright, and then I'll handle the guys up here. Go time. Oh wait, all the enemies are over there? Ooh, wait, hang on. I'm trolling. My friends, hang on! Oh my god, they're getting clobbered. Uh oh, some enemies spawned over there, I think. I see them on the radar. Hold. Oh my god, I'm taking so much damage. Okay, maybe I should have built that wall. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll send you guys over there. I'll head back over here. Okay, there is health regen. Okay. They destroyed my tower. Uh-oh. Oh god, how's the base doing over there? Okay, we're live. Flying numbers can fly over terrain, they're immune to soldier melee attacks. Oh no. Get more units there. Get you going. Faster sword team. I don't think I need. Okay, well I'm guessing they're gonna fly. Oh, they're gonna fly over the wall here. Ooh. Okay. Okay, upgrade you. And then we'll get you a splash here. Let's see. Guys can stay here. Take you range over here. Both you? Or oh, I might accidentally grab the rest. Oh well, we'll make do. All right, go. Okay, where are they? Spawning. Are we spawning over here? Did I even hit them? Oh, I guess I could take some aggro. Alright, hit me. Okay, I can't hit them. I have the AoE range. Alright. Some guys up here. Alright, cool. We're good. Alright. What else can I upgrade? Upgrade buildings are free. Watcher's attack, Watcher sprinting, attack speed. The Watcher revives. I'm not gonna die. We want more damage. Probably we want to up our means of production. Oh wait, we could build another camp here. Maybe I want to do this. Let's get these camps up. I think over there. This place should be fine. Okay. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Alright, we'll keep the boys there. You two stand on guard. These guys move it up here. You guys can stand here. Right, let's get it. Where are they gonna spawn? Honestly, you should be like getting these guys to retreat so we can have the turrets do some work, but we're fine. Yeah, they give you free characters to work with, so you can get through most of the stages. Yeah, just get however much you can done. Damn, I just wrecked for that. Okay. What do I want to... Reduction? I want to get more units. 24. You boys. Stay there. Probably should get more. Honestly, should have gotten more of the aerial units, but maybe we'll just upgrade some of the turrets down here. Rapid shot. Okay. You guys should be fine with the turrets. Alright, let's get. Okay, now the turrets are in range. Yeah, I probably should have put the soldiers a bit farther back just so they let the enemies hit the wall and we can get the turrets. Alright, everywhere. I don't see any notifications elsewhere. I guess we kill out the rest of the guys. Oh, okay, time to go. Alright, you boys can stall there. Let's back up a bit, let them get closer. Man, they're all stacked on top of each other. I can't even tell how much damage they've all taken in general. Oh! Okay, well, I got clobbered by that group right there. Alright, I got my revenge. We're fine. Alright, that should have been the last stage, I believe. Here we go. Woo! Aerial buildings. Other items to grab. Okay, so it seems like our part 2 unlocks tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna do more Genshin tomorrow, or if I'm gonna do mod. Honkai Impact again. A part of me wants to say Honkai Impact because I know the main story chapter hasn't released, but I feel like I should be careful for it. What do I want to build? First off, how am I means of production? Let's get these going. The first round might be a bit rough, but on this an investment. Alright, boys in the mill can stay. I'll head down south. Oh, unless they decide to spawn here first. Get all the towers maxed, or get all the mines maxed out, then we'll at least get some turrets going. I'm guessing the minions are going to just start taking care of the mill, and then I need to start helping out. You guys seem fine. I need to go back center. Tank. Alright. Advance mine. Advance mine. Let's upgrade the camp a little bit. This place does not have a camp. This upper part seems a bit weak. We'll throw down the wall. And at least one bit. Power. And then we can go. What did you click? What did you do? Or maybe get dragged into some tutorial thing. Alright, wall. Tank for a bit. I hope I don't have to rebuild the wall. I hope it respawns after the end of each round, but I kinda doubt it. Oh, my friends, help me. Alright, what do I want to focus on now? I probably don't need this yet. Let's actually just get the rest of our building up to level 2. Okay, work on the hour defensive. Turret outside. Alright, we'll just build turrets out here to stall, and then we'll upgrade our main base after. Up. Get one update. Alright, now we're cooking. Let's go. Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea to start doing part 2s. There's probably some rewards and stuff there that will help you with your Senna team building. Oh, looks like the boys up top are coming out. Alright, what? Might as well get all the boys here while we're waiting. Oh no, we need some boys down here. The enemies are coming back. I'll hold the line. Okay, now they're probably spawning up top now, right? Maybe not. Oh no, we're coming back. Okay, never mind, that was it. Just dumpstered this group. Upgrade main base. Sprint. What do we want? We can't upgrade the mines anymore. Guess we could just get a stronger turret or stronger men. I guess we could upgrade the turrets up front since I don't have enough right now. This is the last round anyway, so whatever happens, happens. Alright, what we got? Alright, men up top. Man, look at them go. Wow. Honestly, I should let them tank whenever I don't have my shield up. Come on, man, there's so many of these, so bulky too. Uh oh, we got a bunch of guys middle. Okay, never mind, these guys are squishy as heck. We should be fine. Let the turrets handle it. Oh my goodness. Wave clear. Alright, men, we need assistance. Up top should be good now, right? Oh, there's still guys up here. Finish the job. Okay. Okay, we're good. Whew. Up on the blocks. The Roblox. Well, foreign language sounds like foreign language. The question is, which foreign language are you doing?
哦，是谁？哦，原来如此。如果我料想的不差，
Italian?
沃尔德姐妹中的莉莉多半已经潜入了这座公司大厦。
Language choice.
很
Didn't
有
know
可
they
能。
offered those, but then again,
可
the world is
是
big.
为什么你会对她产生如此强烈的反应呢？她不过是一个梦境中的角色。
是我。公司内出现了异常，我需要你立刻前往调查。还不明确，我希望你来告诉我。V7区，那里的信息科组长诺顿会告诉你具体的情况。注意，那里是办公区，先不要引起恐慌。
我听到了，我和你一起过去吧。我感兴趣的不是工作，而是你。
People blush.
沃尔德四姐妹，她们或许会成为你回到现实的钥匙。哎呀，先别思考啦！我说的这些话，对现在的你来说跟谜语也没什么分别。我们还是快去现场看看吧。
Oh, we actually get to play as Narnia. Norton? Norton... it's not Norton VPN, it's Norton antivirus.
大约10分钟前开始，就有人用内部账号不断拷贝公司的机密信息。
I mean, I feel like the main reason... I'm pretty sure the trial characters you would definitely be fine with. I think the only issue is just you just don't know how to play all the characters, so it's
进
just
出口的门
rougher.
禁密钥，哎呀，总之一眼就能看出对方不怀好意。可以，这我当然也想到了，但麻烦就麻烦在这里。哎，请跟我来吧，你看看就知道了。
Oh god, I had to figure out who it is out of these 4 people. Oh god, interrogation time.
他就是问题账号的持有人，信息科的职员泰勒。这就是问题所在了。
Bro,
我
you
们
don't
不知道
know
他们
who
谁是泰
any
勒
of。them are? They're not one,
原
they don't want
来
to
如
admit.
此。
Oh, or all of them
所谓在
just
职的莉莉
this no,
这多
okay,
半是
so the
他的
rest of
手
these
笔吧。
people are
你也
copies.
知道，公司内人员众多，而且大部分人都是待在自己的位置上埋头工作。泰勒就是其中的典型。他
Oh, definitely.
说实话，
Depending on the boss, I'd say I'd
我
argue
知
more
道有
than
这么
30
个人，
seconds.
他长什么样子，穿什么衣服来公司，确实没人关心。你说什么？这我也想到了，但是很遗憾，泰勒在卷走公司的资料时，还顺带删掉了自己的个人信息。看起来是这样啊。这倒是不难办，稍等。好了，总共有100多条。
真有趣，连长相都记不清楚的同事，却在大家的闲聊里频繁出现呢。
And why? This is probably one of the first few times we've done the
知道了。
first person thing. Maybe he'll finally wear a new tie once he's tired of blue. Never go wrong with black. I feel tired of just turned 20. Hair's gray. So Tyler is not wearing black if they say if he was finally wear a new tie once he's tired of once he's tired of blue. So blue, gray hair.
有用的信息似乎就这些了，怎么样？有信心分辨出哪一个才是可怜的泰勒吗？
This guy does not. This guy definitely does not look 20.
我还有一大堆需求没有做，快放我回去！万一延期了，你们担得起这个责任吗？
I mean, I look as far as what the beta tells me, so I do know what is coming up in the next match. Did I misunderstand? I swear, is it just this guy? Just because he's not wearing the same outfit as the rest of them? Ain't no way. I thought about it at first, but I was like, there's no way it's this
又让我
obvious.
干这个，又让我干那个，哎呀，懂吗？不懂。
Never mind. I completely butchered it. Okay. Well, there's only 2 more. I could honestly just brute for the rest. For the rest. No, he is wearing blue. I don't know why I forgot that. He has black hair. I don't know if this is what they're talking about.
啊，开什么玩笑啊！我可是每天上班都跟诺顿组长打招呼，
Just watch it
可
be
他
none
居
of
然认
them.
不得我。你知道我是真的，对吧？
Bruh, did I actually get all of them wrong, or none of these, Tyler?
为什么他们要诋毁我？我只是想把事情做好，或许是时候拿出勇气。啊，还好你是个明白人，这下我就放心了。
根据我们收集到的描述，
Bruh, the hair
只有
this
这
hair
位
does
泰
not
勒
tell
是
me
全部符
anything.
合的。
也就是说，其他3个都是闯入者的伪装，快把他们抓起来！这是为什么？这或许是因为他的能力有限。啊，你是说？原来如此，你还是一如既往的敏锐呢。
小心，是闪光弹！
Ah, flashbang. My solo was below level. But I got. Oh, is it normal now? So I literally have nothing else. What? Wait, what level did they recommend? Level 6? Okay, let's go do some of these, I guess. Okay. Past stage, grains of memory, 1 free. Oh, 1-1 starts here. I was like going from left to right, not the other way around. I'm Pega. Okay. Oh, I should have built another mind. And we'll be okay, surely. I like my intelligence. Oh. Bro, I can't even scroll. Fuck. Alright, now let's go. Okay, now, right? Okay. Let's build in max speed. Go full offense. House. Love another well. Do we have anything for range units? Camp. Okay, I'll probably get the melee camp to help defend this side, and then I gotta personally handle this side on my own. Oh, I might actually die here. Oh. God, I don't have any wells or anything. Oh, Jesus. No, don't destroy my camp. Aw, oh, fuck. Oh, I'm gonna have to rebuild 10, aren't I? Oh no, it respawns, okay. Let's get vampire. We want one tower. Melee camp. Oh, we have some defense towers here. Let's get some. Alright, we need to upgrade the buildings and then upgrade the mines. So then this wave is, next wave is probably gonna be rougher. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, we'll do one spin here. And I'll leave the rest up to you guys. I gotta go out on this side here. No, my mines! Stay away! Alright, upgrade for the building. Okay, I'm gonna upgrade our means of production again. And we'll just Giga Juice up on this last round. Alright, we'll upgrade, we'll probably upgrade the turrets we have as well as our minion production. Ah, there's some guys in the middle. Oh, these guys hurt a lot. Oh, they're too far. I shall have to get a bit closer. Got some guys spawning on right now too. Viva, handle this. Alright, I'll leave it up to you. Oh, actually, I should probably protect our towers in the middle here. What am I doing? Are minions even doing anything? Oh, they're not even doing anything because no enemy spawned on that side. Alright, you boys can stay there. Okay. Guys, up to speed. fine. Hopefully we'll be fine. Alright. Alright boys, rally up. With me! Oh god. Okay, I know there's enemies on the right, but I'm gonna trust our turrets to handle that while we take care of whatever the heck is happening here. 'Cause holy cow. Go team, go! Man. My allergy is going nuts. 27. uh... It's out there. Then we juice out this side a bit more. Oh my god, there was a range camp here this whole time. I'm stupid. Alright, soldiers, to me. I think these guys will be fine. Let's double check on the mill here. Whoa. Oh, this side's a bit in a spot. Soak up some hits. Done and dusted. Alright, who still needs help? Tanky guy on the right here. Hey yo, buzz off. Alright, hopefully this will be enough. Do I need to get my level up? Yeah, I could probably brute force to level 4, surely. Yeah, that honestly happens a lot when you start the game. Oh, everything's maxed out here. What the hell? Sniper camp? This thing's crazy. So we got some guys here. Let's get our mines up. Where else do we have enemies? We have a wall here. Got a major camp up. Probably another one. Oh god, all 3 of these are mines, aren't they? Nope, these 2 are mines. We'll probably upgrade these mines and then we'll upgrade the minions up. Alright, where are they starting? Up top? Oh boy, I see we have a boss. Alright, rally soldiers, to me! Soldiers over here. Oh my god, we lost the tower. Who lives still? Alright, let's more speed. Advanced mine. Higher grade sniper. Camp. Splash. Alright, well, we'll upgrade the soldiers and then start building some walls or perhaps. Alright, our soldiers are face tanking for the wall. Okay, back up on cooldowns. Go back up. Those guys should be fine. Alright. Get the turrets up. Are all our turrets level 2? You're not level 2. Anything else back here I want to build? Alright, where are they coming from this time? Up top? Ooh, life steal real quick. Bap. Am I? Maybe I'm not supposed to stand in the circle. Maybe standing in the circle actually has a death aura. Yeah, let me just stay on the outside of it for now. Alright, you guys can handle that. We need men back here. No, I can stand in it. I was just getting shredded. Never mind. Alright. Alright, we have the big bad incoming. Alright, I'm guessing, yep, the boss is gonna spawn there. Let's slow damage over time. Can I max you out more? It's okay. Okay. Get all the turrets. Oh wait, I could upgrade this wall this whole time. I'm stupid. Okay, well, no point in doing that anymore. Easy fire. Alright. Got it. Where are they spawning from first? Nope, Benares as always. Don't use the EMP thing. Alright, charge attack will instantly kill all targets in range. Can't even teleport to the nearest EMP tower. Okay, I honestly couldn't even tell when I was supposed to press it, but... Alright, stop hiding behind the turret. I need you on that now. Alright, you guys can handle that. I'll just quickly clear out some wave of enemies here. Oh god, our turret's down! Turret down! Oh, that is doing its charge attack. Oh god, where's AoE? We need men. Forget about everything else. We need to kill the dragon. It's just turn for everything. Oh god, it's charging up again. Oh god, I don't even know where the AoE is. Oh, it's just like right on top of it. No, our production center! Uh oh. Our defenses here are not as strong as before. Oh no, that. Oh, I just wasted the EMP. It wasn't even close enough. Alright, men. Group up. Oh god, I don't have any turrets back here. This might actually be over. Wait, men, stay away. Alright. It's do or die. Okay, if I lose here, I'm gonna be so mad. Oh god, we're about to lose. Okay, I need to do better with my Okay, I need stronger turrets. Okay, let's at least get some turrets back here. We can stall here quite a bit. Alright, we're gonna put a bit more effort into improving our backline and Alright, I have enough to build one more turret. Is there any spots with one more? It doesn't seem like it. Okay, so we have 2 EMP towers that I did not use. That's probably why we lost. I didn't use any of them. And we also need to get our units up front. Right. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if they can hit the dragon in general, or they can only hit it when it's when it's fallen after we stun them. All right, team, back off. You need to clear out the other mobs. Okay, they're a lot lower this time around, so we're definitely doing a better job. Alright, now we need to focus up here. Team, group up on me. Okay, we'll lead the turrets to its job. Alright, we need people on the dragon. Alright, that was so much better. Whoa! Alright, well, whenever you play this event, TD, you know what to do and what not to do.
吴月姐说的没错，你真的不记得我们了。
Oh, was I? Oh god. Maybe the company we're working for is actually the bad group. And we've lost our memory and then we got converted.
确认目标。
Oh hey,
武
it's
器
Great
限制解
Serpent.
除，
Haven't seen you in a
随
while.
时可以开火。
喂，谁让你欺负我的妹妹啦？那是。丽丽，我来救你了！笨蛋姐姐，笨蛋是多余的，笨蛋。啊！谁会就这样被你们干掉啊？丽丽，把你的力量借给我。嗯。让你们见识一下罗莎琳暴走的力量。
Oh, we're playing as Delta. Haven't played as Delta in ages. Old school. Battlesuit. Definitely one of my favorites. I remember this used to be my physical Valk when I was like in poor mode.
别动，这个距离，我一眨眼就能把你劈成两半。怎么是你？我刚才只顾着救丽丽，都没有看清。为什么你会站在公司这边啊
We're hurting our friends secretly. Oh god, I wonder who we are. I'm actually concerned now. Oh no, don't tell me you're actually gonna get shot down. Damn, we actually just ended with them getting shot down? Oh my god. We're back in the pressing era of Honkai Impact. What is this? That's crazy. Alright, well I need to make sure to play these. I'm prepared for tomorrow. Okay. I guess before we... Okay, well I guess while we're here. In terms of the event, obviously, buy out everything you can. Save coins for last. Because for some reason, some events, even if you full clear everything, for some reason, you can't buy out everything in the shop. So make sure you save coins for last as a daily reminder. Otherwise, in terms of priority, if you're a collector, go for the outfits. And then go for the crystal rewards and source prisms, and then buy everything else you need. In the case that you're too lazy and don't clear out everything, specifically like the end game grind mode that almost every event has, just kind of just work your way down the list. But if there's any items from like the bottom row that you probably don't really need too much of, I think for older players you definitely don't need this as much. And then you don't really need this because it's like super in-game stuff, but then otherwise everything else you can kind of just gradually grind. Same with these two. They're important, but as a newer player you can hold off on these for a little bit. now that that's limited time use retrospect one. Where did I use this? Use retrospect. Oh, this one, right? Oh, if I push further, I can pop this for more reward. Alright, well, I might as well push as far as we can. Okay, I guess we're not doing the video watch along yet. We'll see how far we can push on this. Okay, so it's this stage. Wow, there's nothing out here. We're really just defending from the very front. Oh, but there's one thing here. Melee camp. Yeah, we can solo for now. I just need get my production up. How could you give up? You're no quitter. Alright, we have more options now in terms of defenses. No. Things going. And then let's just start with one melee. They're all spawning here. Get the upgrade for the tower and then we'll upgrade our mines so we max out the production in that. Oh, when you talk about center trial, you mean literally use the card that you have? Do they not have trial characters provided for those stages? I know some of them they do, but I don't know if they do it for all of them. They definitely don't do it for the final trial. I know that much. Oh, well, I mean, it's up to you. If you want to hold on to the card, hold on to the card. I wouldn't blame you if you want to hold on to it. Next round we'll buy another well, and then these are walls, I'm guessing. I'll probably buy defense towers or melee camps. So, alright, let's see. Where are they gonna spawn? Are they gonna spawn up top or down bottom first? Of course, they spawn down bottom. No. Maybe I did too much with the production. Oh god, did we lose our minion tower? Oh god, we lost our minion tower. Oh god, it's actually over. Okay, maybe I focused too much on the production. There's no point in producing if we don't have the units to defend. We'll get one of you. Okay, let's get some down. Here? Seriously? Melee camp. it's good ones. Are these wolves also, or are these? Oh, these are mines also. Okay. I'll burn a little bit rest on you. Let's see, where are they gonna spawn first? Top. I don't know, maybe I'll save it for tomorrow or something. What? Oh my goodness. I got killed for the minion. Okay, we'll let the tower try and do some work up there while we... I died again. But we stalled long enough. Question is, what do I'm gonna work on next? Okay, so I'm guessing these are probably also mine. Get some throw a wall here to stall. Up here. Some guys down there, and got some guys in the middle. What's the upgrade for? It's 27. We upgrade next time. Let's at least get turrets along. If anything left over, we'll... okay. Top side should be fine. Alright. Get going. Where are they spawning? Down bottom. Okay, we don't have to worry about dying now as easily. You guys can work on that. I need to work on this here. Alright, spin, get in there, get our HP back. I don't know if they're still fighting stuff down there. I think we should be fine. Spinning blades. Building, core building level. That. Tower upgrade. Oh, we finally have a tower here. We just want range camp. Rapid sniper. Rapid. Get all the towers to level 2, throw up a wall, and get the towers. Let's see, where art thou? Enemy spawning. Up top, up top. Oh, okay. That was a lot more enemies than I expected. Those guys might be fine down there. I'll start cleaning up house down here. Or at least I hope they'll be fine up there anyways. Ah! I died again. Alright, those guys should be fine. Let's check up top. Need to get some enemies up here. Or not enemies, allies up here. Okay, looks like we're fine. Everyone trades HP. these up. And then go up a tower. I'm gonna pray that all the enemies are starting to come here first. Spin to win. Okay, all those guys are good. Those are gonna finish up real quick. Okay, I need to stall here for a bit. Okay, buzz off the tower, buddy. Stay off. Okay, let's see. Vulnerability on. Get one of these just in each area. And we probably want one air defense. Got some turrets. We'll just throw some in the back so I have something shooting. Go time. Alright, everyone move up top. I'm sure the towers can handle the remainder. Let's let them fall back a bit, so let whichever do their thing. No, get back in there. I need to start going down. Right, we'll let the tower handle the rest of those and spin here. And we did it! Yay! Alright, I could keep pushing, but I think I'll just do the rest tomorrow. I'll just do it on my own thing. Alright, give me my DLEs. Full nature. I want. Takes less damage, building takes less damage. Soldiers take less damage. I take less damage. Oh, actually, I could just buy all these. Someone added me. I don't know. I might keep going afterwards, but I mean, I have plenty of time to, you know, work out the rest of it. So I'm not in a rush to So here, let's move. It's time to finally pull up the video and teach TD how this game kind of works. Alright, TD, we're doing. Oh, wait, hang on. I need to. Okay. I don't know. I like teaching people how some stuff works. Do I take notes? I mean, sometimes you just learn things on the fly, or sometimes you just don't even remember it, but you just accept it at the way things are. There's plenty of stuff in this game that I don't know, and I just roll with it. Alright, let's see. Change this to game audio. Turn this up.
You know.
Alright. Well, if you ever feel like there's something you might want clarification for, TD, just ask. I mean, to be honest, I feel like we should probably watch a new player experience video rather than a terminology video, but I mean, I guess both were technically good. I don't know who's produced the most recent new player guide type of thing, but I don't know, maybe we should probably watch that also. I don't know, it's up to you.
People always ask me, Kibi, how'd you do it? How'd you score the Myriad Emblem? The 1 billion damage? The 0 top up? Even with all my expensive gear, I just can't seem to do it. Well, I always tell them, there's a method to the madness. You see,
Okay, I don't know if we want to sit for 2 hours unless we dedicate a whole stream to like a new player experience thing, and then I just supplement with like updated info. But yeah, there is honestly a lot of news. There is honestly a lot of stuff that gets thrown at you. I will not argue with that. I feel maybe I don't know if I watched it. I probably clicked onto the video, but I don't know if I actually watched it. I might just watch it just for the heck of it, out of curiosity on what they have. That's so relevant. All right, well I'll find the video and then I'll send it to you.
see, I discovered some secret tips. Whales hate them. Agony players want to know them. And today, I'm going to share it with you. And actually, yeah, that is the topic of today's video, but it's not going to be that stupid. No, actually, it is going to be that stupid because, believe it or not, this is probably the driest topic in Honkai that no one wants to hear about. Basically, there is a lot of stuff that people misunderstand or misinterpret in this game. So the goal of this video is to explain everything I can. In the end, this is going to be a pretty disorganized video, so please use the YouTube chapter feature to navigate around if you need to. But let's go ahead and start. So damage is one of those things in Honkai where I would say the majority of players really don't know the origin of. Does it come from here? Does it come from there? I don't know where damage comes from. And most of the time,
Yes.
the top players just
Damage
test
comes
builds to
from the
see if they
wallet.
work. Most of the time,
True.
the damage charts that you see floating around on the internet are very inaccurate, and that is because the way that you play the Valkyrie suited to the build can vary a lot. If that's not enough, the boss that you're fighting can also change your build. Basically, when you see an out there build, sometimes it's just easier to stop asking questions and just copy it. And to be fair, what MiHoYo's been doing in the past 2 years.
Okay, so this part has been a lot more simpler and dumbed down with the introduction of Part 2 characters because of the way their equipment supply works. Basically, the only gist you really need to get is you either have their gear or you don't, and you just roll with not having anything. Because like older school players, they had like a lot more alternatives. I mean, I guess the Part 2 characters do have cheap alternatives with free stuff, but it's like, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say the gap is despairingly huge, but it's like at this point, it's like you would rather save your resources to just wait for the rerun of the character and their gear and go chase after that than trying to farm for the alternative. Because like farming for the alternative is probably in some ways more time gating and resource exhausting than I would like to admit. At least that's what my experience was back when I actually touched the foundry, which is like the gear forging stuff. That, to be honest, I feel like I don't want to call it irrelevant, but like with the Part 1 characters slowly being shooed out and replaced by Part 2 characters, I feel like the foundry used a lot less often nowadays. I say that, but next patch they're introducing more craftable gear in the foundry for the Kiana finality form update.
Years is simplifying all the builds. So a lot of the builds these days are just the 3 signature stigmatas. Back in my day, the builds looked a lot different. Sometimes filling in a couple pieces of gear is fine enough, but when you start using more than that, you're basically using your own build, and that's where a lot of problems start happening. So we're going to explain the damage system itself, but before that, let's go over the stigmata lingo that goes around in the game. This is where people make the biggest mistakes, so it is very important for me to go over it. Okay, first off, we have basic attacks and burst mode. And basic attacks, like the name implies, are just the normal hits that your Valkyrie does. Do note that this does not include stuff like QTEs or your weapon skills. Now this completely separates from burst mode. So what is a burst mode? Burst mode basically is when a Valkyrie uses their ultimate and their attacks change fundamentally because of it. Easy example is the Herster of Sentience. Use the ultimate and she gets the ability to bonk. this is a burst mode. So if you're not sure if a Valkyrie has a burst mode or not, the easiest way to tell is on the Valkyrie select screen. miHoYo has added an icon for any Valkyrie that has a burst mode.
Do they still have those icons? I feel like they got rid of some of the icons. Let me quickly open the game and see if they have any of these still. Okay, they still do. Yeah, they also did they have weapon types? I feel like it wasn't always there. Maybe it was there, I just don't remember. But yeah, okay, this still applies if you ever want to learn what characters and buffs happen. But in terms of part 2 characters, none of them have burst mode, so you don't really have to worry about anything, because most of the characters' ultimates in part 2 is like just like a one-time damage dealing thing for the most part. Because a lot of their gimmicks is an astral ring thing, which doesn't really affect the way their ultimates work in the long run. So should be fine.
Sometimes it can get a little bit confusing, especially with Valkyries like Fervent Tempo Delta and Alicia. So why is this important? So the buffs for burst mode cannot buff basic attacks, and the buffs for basic attacks cannot buff burst mode.
This part, I wouldn't say it's irrelevant. I mean, it's definitely good info to know, but like if you're pulling for the gear for the specific Valkyrie, of course you don't have to worry about it throwing it onto other characters that don't work. And for the most part, like the cheaper alternatives, you're not going to accidentally run into them. Like the only way you're ever going to get the cheaper alternatives is if you kind of purposely go out of the way to get them, in which case, like I said earlier, it's like even more work than just waiting for the rerun of the gear and whatnot.
This is really important to note because some Valkyries have most of their damage in the burst mode, and some Valkyries obviously have no burst mode at all. So if you see any stigmata with the exact term basic attack or the exact term burst mode, do keep in mind this fact. Okay, the next term that is used on stigmatas is after exit. So after exit is used on a lot of free stigmata, and it's very often misinterpreted. The common misinterpretation is that you actually have to switch into the Valkyrie to get this buff, but actually that's completely wrong. Basically, the Valkyrie just has to not be on the field for this buff to work. Now most of the time, after exit buffs will last forever. However, there are some cases where there is a time associated with it. So for example, the 2-set for Fuhua Musician. So let's just say, for example, your support Valkyrie has the 2-set Musician set. So at the very beginning of combat,
the best way to think about
seconds,
this part, I guess, is probably just think of like the Golden Troop.
So this 10-second Musician 2-set buff has already taken place because the Valkyrie is already off field. Now the worst thing about the Fuhua Musician set is the fact that this buff does not refresh at all. So what ends up happening is that if you want this 10-second buff to refresh, you actually have to wait 10 seconds first. Next up, we have Ultimate Evasion and Evasion skills. So an Ultimate Evasion is basically when you evade an enemy's skill at the right time. This is the core mechanic of Honkai Impact. So a few things happen when you get an Ultimate Evasion. The first thing that happens is that your entire team will get 2 SP. The game will also intentionally lag for a brief amount of time just to give you some feedback.
Okay, this
it's hard to describe, but basically it feels really nice. And of course, the last thing that'll happen is most likely your evasion skill will proc off the Ultimate Evasion. Now we want to differ the evasion skill from the Ultimate Evasion because you can trigger an Ultimate Evasion without triggering the Ultimate Evasion skill. And that's because even though your evasion skill can be on cooldown, you can still evade enemy attacks. So let's take the Stigmata Zoro Top for example. This Stigmata triggers off the Ultimate Evasion. With this Stigmata, you can evade the same attack as many times as you want and get 3 SP for every single evasion you get. Contrast this with Direct Bottom, which can also proc off of your evasion skill. So some Valkyries can actually trigger their evasion skill without getting an Ultimate Evasion. Here's my Moonbeam just evading and getting the proc from Direct Bottom. Now
okay, so for this part, there's some characters where you just tap the evade button, you don't have to dodge any attacks or anything to proc the skill. This is kinda true of Senna on Senna. Like if you hold the evade skill, like if you tap it, you just do the dodge. If you hold it, she does her sprint thing that you see me ride around on. So it kind of works in the way that you can proc the skill without dodging an attack, but I don't think you can proc it unless there's an enemy on the field. Like if you dodge towards the enemy, even if you're not attacking, then you can proc the skill, which is something you're going to do on Senna in certain combos. But I mean, you probably might have seen it if you did any of her trial stuff. But I don't know if they actually explained that, or they just do it in a rotation. You just kind of have to learn it
without getting an Ultimate Evasion. Here's my Moonbeam just evading and getting the proc from Direct Bottom. Now believe it or not, miHoYo decided to put another wording for evasion skill, which is the effect called Retaliation. As far as I know, the description Retaliation is only on the Dante Stigmata. Basically, Retaliation is the exact same thing as proccing your evasion skill. Okay, next we have the difference between time lock and time fracture. So global time fracture, I'm sure we're all familiar with. Basically, the entire stage will darken. In certain stages, this will also slow down the clock of the stage, like in Memorial Arena. And by taking advantage of this, you can get a much higher score. Now, you want to differ this from the time lock / time slow wording, which is the status effect of the enemy. So time fracture will actually inflict the status on the enemy as well, so that's why it often gets confused. But basically, time slow is when the enemy is slowed down in their attack. Some enemies are very resistant to time slow, which means the effects will either run out very quickly or just not affect the enemy at all.
To be honest,
So you
I
want to keep this
don't
in
even
mind
really
because most
remember
Valkyrie
this. I
skills refer
I
to
just
time
roll
slow,
with
not
how
the time
the enemy
fracture.
is behaving.
On contrast, we have the Dark Jijanyan stigmata, which refers to the time fracture, not the time slow effect. Alright, the last term I want to go over is the heavy description for a weapon. This is a really random description that miHoYo put in. As far as I know, it's only on Beethoven Top, and basically this only refers to a cannon, not a greatsword. Okay, that segment of the video was way longer than I thought it would be, and it makes me realize how complicated this game is. But here's where we get into the deep stuff. How do you actually do damage? You want to use your own build in Honkai? This is where understanding how the damage system works in Honkai can really help you. Do you need to do complex math? No, but understanding the surface level knowledge is good enough.
Yeah, when it comes to doing calculations on like stats and stuff, this is probably where I like Honkai in fact more than I like Genshin, Starro, and Z, where like you have to look for multiple stats and see where you want to min-max. Honkai Impact, you kind of just roll with whatever gear you have, and then you don't have to worry about substats or anything. Because there are technically substats, but like compared to the rest of the Hoyoverse games, it's a lot more minuscule. So I find that a blessing to not really have to worry too much about.
So basically, I'm going to try and explain the damage system in Honkai.
Okay, so this is where things get kind of danky, but I mean, it kind of makes sense, I think, more so in, well, maybe it's the same case in ZZZ, but like I feel like the game's still in its earlier stages, so we'll have access to everything that we can do with team building. But with Genshin and Starro, I think it's a lot more evident how some of these things work. So like, obviously, attack, or like having your scaling for like your main stat to do more damage on your abilities, and then your elemental damage. And then obviously things start getting out of control once you start throwing in other characters that can give elemental damage bonuses, or when you start getting shred, or just giving overall damage percent boost. So you can kind of think of like this section and this section as like those equivalents. Like this part here, like the breach and impair, I would say this is more so in like the Kazuha department. Maybe? Well, maybe not Kazuha. Kazuha would be more on this side, like, cause he would like reduce resistances on specific elements. But then meanwhile, someone like Farina would give something like this, like the damage percent, like just like all around damage percent.
Using an iceberg chart. Basically, all of these terms are thrown around in the stigmata lingo, and if you're a new player, you probably don't know a single thing about any of these multipliers. So here we go, from the top, starting with attack. So attack is literally the stat that your Valkyrie has. Like most games, if you have more attack, you're going to do more damage. Well, where does that come from? Where the attack is useful is in skills. So in Honkai, your damage is completely calculated into skills. So for example, when you do a basic attack, that is a skill, and if you use an ultimate, that is also a skill. You can see these skills on the skill page of the Valkyrie. So for example, a hypothetical skill can do 100% of your
I think we
attack.
could probably
In that
skim
example,
this
if
part. Like you get your attack from your weapon, your stigmatas, and then like some substat on the stigmatas. But it's mainly just like your weapon and stigmatas. The higher the level you have of your gear, the more you do. So you don't really have to worry too much about this part. Type counters. Okay, this is important. I don't know if you have this memorized.
Moving on, we have type counters. We're all familiar with type counters if you've played the game at all. Type counters give you a 30% advantage or disadvantage. Basically just add 30% or minus 30% to your damage. They're separated from everything else and is calculated at the end. It's
Okay, so unlike all the other games, these are actual just raw damage percent gains or losses. Because unlike Well, unlike Genshin, elements, obviously enemies have innate resistances slash immunities depending on their element, and then sometimes they have gimmicks where certain elements will help get rid of the gimmick faster. I feel like in Honkai it's just more of a damage percent thing, but then there's some built-in kit things with some of the other elements that uh really require you to have that specific element counter. Um, so with the Psi Mech Bio Triangle, this part, these are usually the elements that are like, or the typings that are more so just the raw damage percentage. There's not really any gimmicks to it. Quantum and Imaginary are the ones that have gimmicks, and there's also a new type called Stardust type, which is what Senna is, that has its own gimmick. But yeah. So for these ones up here, it's more so just like a raw damage percent. These ones actually have gimmicks, so it's like, even though if you run another type, you can run neutral damage, but since they're not specifically that type, they're probably gonna struggle more regardless, just because they don't have the other gimmick to handle these typings.
Played the game at all. Type counters give you a 30% advantage
So we
or
can-
disadvantage, basically the most important aspects of Honkai, so get used to it. Moving on to layer 2, things get a little spicy, but it's nothing too complicated. So first things first, let's
Okay, now this is probably the dumbest part of the guide, mainly just because of how crit works in this thing. Because there's like a bunch of gear and like other sorts of equipment and other sorts of factors that basically affect how crit works. Where like, I think nowadays there's things like you can overcap on crit and it gets converted to crit damage, or they convert a certain amount of crit back into crit rate, which is not really the worst part. The worst part is just how crit is calculated, in which case you're not really actively trying to build any stats. You're just actively trying to just collect the gear.
look at the crit stats. So the first thing to note is that the critical stats only matter for physical damage, which
Okay, this is important. Crits only matter on physical characters, so you don't have to worry about this crap on Senadino.
means elemental damage does not crit. How does crit work? Well, if your hit strikes a critical, then your damage gets a multiplier. And that multiplier is your critical damage. You ever play Genshin Impact? In Genshin Impact, you can easily see your critical rate and your critical damage on the stats screen. In Honkai Impact, you cannot see either of these stats. But wait a minute, what is this CRT stat? This is what we call a red herring. It's not a very useful stat, but it is used in the calculation for the critical rate. It contributes such a small amount, you can basically think of this stat as useless.
Yeah. As you can see here, this is the calculation they used. It's I don't do I don't do any math when it comes to Honkai Impact, and you probably shouldn't either. It's just ridiculously overcomplicated. I like how crit's done in the future games, even though it makes it harder to perfect building, I guess.
Stat as useless. If you want to know your critical rate and your critical damage, well then you have to do the hard math, or you just guess, which is what most of us do.
Yep,
So in
that's
Honkai
us.
Impact, the base critical damage is 100%. What does that mean? It means if you get a critical hit, you will do double the
Okay, yeah,
damage.
we can skip
Let's
that
talk
part.
about the
Alright,
damage
damage
multipliers.
percentage.
So most of the gear that you've seen probably buff damage in some way. For example, this piece of gear can give me 20% physical damage. If I did 1000 damage, now I'll do 1200 damage. Easy, right? And you may ask yourself, is there any difference between the damage multiplier and the crit damage multiplier? In terms of function, they actually don't have any difference other than the fact that the crits are random. Going back to Genshin Impact, do you know why crit rate is so important in that game? I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes is too long. Basically, you have a problem that's called dilution. So let's say you already have a physical damage multiplier in your kit. Let's say you have 100% physical damage stacked up in your kit. You're basically doing double the physical damage here. So instead of doing 1000 damage, you're doing 2000 damage. But now let's say you get another source of physical damage multiplier. Let's say it's 100% as well. So what happens from here? Do you go from 2000 to 4000 damage? The answer is you go from 2000 to 3000 damage. And that is because the physical damage multipliers will add. You basically
Okay, so this part's also kind of evident if you know how to build in Genshin. That's why like Kazuo and Farina kind of fulfill different prospects, and one gives damage percent and then the other just shreds the defense. Like you're going opposite directions. And then if you go both, like it's overkill at that point, but like that's how you gain more damage.
basically have a 200% physical damage multiplier. This is what we call damage bonuses stacking additively. But wait a minute, what about crit damage? Well, the crit damage is treated separately from the physical damage percent, so they will multiply with each other, and that basically means you go from 2000 to 4000 damage. It is important to note that the crit damage also stacks additively with itself though. So again, if you stack another 100% crit damage, you're going to do 3 times the damage, not 4 times the damage. And that is really important when we talk about the next thing, which is the total damage multiplier. So certain gears in Honkai have this description which describes boosting your total damage by a certain amount. Now obviously this is a damage multiplier that is indiscriminate between elemental and physical damage. However, if you keep in mind the dilution discussion that we had earlier, you might think, oh, let's add this to the physical damage multiplier that we had before. And I'm going to stop you right there because that's not how it works. That's right, total damage multiplier.
Okay, so I don't know, I honestly don't remember how Farina works in this regard. I don't know if Farina just gives like an all-amount damage boost, or if she gives like an all-amount every elemental damage boost. I would like to think Farina is kind of like this case where she just like gives a raw damage percent boost, but I feel like it technically applies to just any type of damage. But I don't know if they calculate in the same sphere, but nah, it's okay. I mean, you like we said before, when it comes to Honkai Impact, most people, I won't say most people, a lot of people don't know how a lot of these things work, but we just kind of roll with it, you know. We just follow what the what do you call them? The theory crafters, I guess. We just follow what the theory crafters show us, and we just go with it. The smart people
actually multiplies with the others. So that's right, if you have 100%, which means you can basically treat the 3 things that we've been talking about as 3 separate pools. Each pool will add with itself, but 8 times the damage. And the last thing in layer 2 is the weather system. Well, the weather system is basically one of the most important aspects of the Honkai endgame. This is basically the multiplier of the actual stage itself, and this thing can be very complicated because sometimes it works into one of these pools, but other times it can be a separate multiplier in itself, and in that case it can reduce your final damage by a ton, but on the other hand it can also increase your damage by a ton. And yes, this is basically the main way that MiHoYo balances the game. Alright, moving on to layer 3. Let's start.
Okay, so the weather system. As you know, Abyss has leyline cycles, and they usually adjust for the characters that are on the banners for that specific period. Honkai Impact basically almost does the same thing, where like the patch a new character comes out, a majority of the weathers during that cycle period of like six weeks normally is going to be more often tied to that character and whatever gimmick they do. But obviously there's going to be some rotations where it's just going to be normal and it's just going to be whatever they want to throw in. So typically, weathers are usually based off of the type of damage the character does. They don't really do the typings. The typings are just like its own system, so it's more so just a damage type. And also, I think status effects and how they do their damage in the sense of, are they ranged or are they melee? So in terms, I don't know if they're gonna talk about status effects here. They might, but like, I don't. You could call this kind of. I guess the best way to describe the status effects is probably like the anomalies in ZZZ, where like each element typing has their own anomaly. In Honkai Impact has each element has their own type of anomaly as well, but not every type has it. I think only the three main, no, yeah, just like the 4 elements: physical, ice, fire, and lightning. Lightning has shock, I think that's what it's called. Fire has ignite, ice has freeze, and then physical has bleed. Oh, I guess physical also has stun, so I guess physical has 2 things, but yeah. So even though you might have multiple Valkyries that fit the archetype of, let's say, the example of your physical damage, like, sure, you have a physical damage Valk, but depending on what enemies show up, some physical damage Valks might do better than others just because of the typing of the enemies, or if there's some other gimmick that the boss rather prefers certain types of physical characters, but you just kind of just go with it. You can brute force a lot of like the lower level stuff. So
MiHoYo balances the game. Alright, moving on to layer 3. Let's start with the easier stuff. Now in Honkai Impact, it's not enough that you have to buff your Valkyrie, but there's also the fact that you have to debuff the enemy. Most of the time, the debuffs are applied by support Valkyries, and basically what happens is this is another multiplier that we have to worry about, which means yes, there are 2 other separate pools which stack
Okay, so yeah, you could think of this as like the Kazuha portion.
additively with itself, but multiply with the others. So there's one for physical and elemental damage taken, and the total damage taken. If you've been keeping track and you had 100% of every single one of these pools, well, now you do 32 times the amount of damage. And of course, Honkai is not that simple to only have multipliers. We also have to think about the enemy's resistance. This is such an important thing to keep track of, and it can make everything we've been talking about completely useless. For example, the elemental resistance value of Jizo is about 70%, so basically just take off 70% of the damage that you were doing.
Yeah, so not only do they make it harder by you following the wearer for you to do damage, but then there's some enemies that just make it even worse. Where like, you can brute force it, but it's going to be even harder because the enemy, they're really trying to shoehorn you into using that specific archetype of a Valk.
Now, of course, Jizo doesn't only have elemental damage resistance, he also has physical damage resistance, and that is 25%. Now, most bosses have more physical damage resistance, and usually this value comes from the elite shield. The idea is you break the shield and the entire physical resistance is depleted to 0. And you may have noticed there are now shields that reduce elemental damage as well. And to make things simple, basically this always just depends on the enemy that you're fighting. And of course, there is actually a way to get through this resistance value, and that is called Breach. So Breach directly subtracts from the enemy's resistance value. So Breach is extremely powerful when the resistance values are a lot higher. Let's go back to our 1000 damage example. We can fight 2 enemies, one with 90% resistance to our damage and one with 10%. So which one is Breach going to be more helpful on? The answer is the one with 90%. Let's say we apply a 10% breach. Basically what happens is the enemy's resistance goes from 90 to 80 and 10 to 0 respectively. In the example with the enemy with 90% resistance, our damage would go from 100 to 200. So just from 10% breach, our damage already doubled. Now let's
Yeah, so this is why this is why stuff like the defense percent drop, or like buffing specific multipliers for the type of damage characters do in Star Rail is kind of more important.
Let's look at the enemy with 10% resistance. So our damage here would go from 900 to 1000, which is what, an 11% bonus? This makes much less of an impact, but you can see how Breach is much more important endgame. And that is future pet.
Oh wait,
now let's look at an impact, but since values get higher as the
okay, so disturbance, I don't know how to describe this. No other game really has this, because after a while, like level difference becomes obsolete in like all the other games. But like Honkai Impact, the leveling thing never really was an issue. So they use disturbance as like the meter to measure how hard an enemy is. It's like I don't know. I guess I don't know if I want to call it a multiplier on how difficult the enemy is, but just know that the higher the number this is, the worse the harder it is to kill the enemies. But this only shows up when you do your abyss stuff, or at least I don't know if this shows up in the lower level abyss, but eventually you'll probably reach this point.
the disturbance also goes up. Now with Breach, folks, we only have elemental Breach. And believe it or not, folks, there are...
Okay, so things have changed since then. Back when this video released, Valkyries having Breach in her kit was super rare / non-existent. Nowadays, more characters have it. So, you know, obviously, if they have it in their kit, it helps them do damage, or it helps the characters that they're supporting do damage. Like, for example, Senna. Like, even though she can main DPS, she can also be a support because she has a Breach thing built into her kit. So, that's why she's core in quite a lot of Part 2 teams.
Instances, just like how we have 3 different types of buffs, which means as of right now, we have no way to build against the something
Okay,
that
so
we
we can
might
skip that
see
part.
in future patches.
Yeah, so some events, they give like these boosts as like buffs you can get. So typically these are usually good ones to chase after.
And do you think
regardless.
resistance would be that simple? Of course not. Now, believe it or not, there are actually different ways that the enemy gets physical resistance. So like we discussed before, an enemy might have physical resistance based on its shield, or it just has it innately. But guess what? There is another way that the boss has physical resistance, and that is the defense value that the boss has. So defense value is treated in a very complex formula. Basically,
we could probably
1000
we could
defense
probably skip
important
this
for
part.
physical teams is to use impair. Now, impair takes out a percentage of the boss's defense, which is basically just one branch of the enemy's physical resistance. But basically, for physical teams, this is the closest thing to breach that we have. When an enemy has a lot of defense, it also has a lot of physical resistance just from the defense. So when physical breach is released, you would still use it with impair. Alright, finally we get to the last.
Okay, so I guess what I understand for this is, besides enemies having defense, they have like defense respective to like an element type, in which case breach is meant for one and impair is meant for the other. Which sounds whack that you have to build two types of defense shred for two different types of defense, but that's how it is.
Layer. Alright, first off, we have independent multipliers. So these are some multipliers that are on some skills and some stigmatas. The two ways to discern it are if the stigmata says from the competitively with themselves while multiplying with the others. Well, these independent effects.
Okay, independent multipliers, these are just like other ways they can give damage percent to your character that don't fit in any of these other archetypes. Stuff you don't really need to worry about. It's just built into the kit or built into the equipment of characters, and you just roll with it.
Are not only separate from all of these pools, they also multiply with themselves. So let's read a stigmata like Thalas Mid. The second part of the stigmata gives you a 2% fire damage bonus, stacking up to 10 times, and this is a independent multiplier. So what does that mean? It means this stigmata will give you an undiluted 22% fire damage bonus. This is by far the strongest multiplier type there is, so whenever you see an independent multiplier or from the host, bosses and enemies will have specific multipliers. Basically, they're things that MiHoYo designed so that you can do more damage to the boss. So the easiest example is Heimdall. So each time a segment of Heimdall's shield breaks, he takes 5% more damage.
Yeah, so
And then when
the specific multipliers here is just like why they want you to get specific Valkyries for specific gimmicks. Like, obviously, as you progress in the boss fight, there's a super gimmick you need to get through, and then if you clear the gimmick, you'll get a damage boost, or like the boss would lose like defense or something, in which case you could just kill them faster.
So each time a segment of Heimdall's shield debuffs that you might have. Now let's contrast this with Hodo. Everything that has stuff like that. So it is treated as a normal debuff, and basically this debuff will add to your Newtons and stuff like that. So each boss in this game might have their own niche multipliers. Basically it's a case-by-case basis. Okay, that basically covers everything that has to do with multipliers, and if you made it.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of this isn't gonna stick, but just know that a lot of this stuff is kind of just background, like knowledge. The only time you really, you don't really even need to actively think of it, but whenever you use neuron rotations when playing the game, you'll kind of naturally learn that the rotation is done this way in order for certain buffs and debuffs on your characters and enemies last enough for you to get certain character skills and ultimates and all that stuff in. You're not really concerned about what type of buffs and debuffs are being dropped, but you're just learning the timing, because obviously it's better to do it when it's up. And yeah, that's pretty much all the terminology in terms of like the battling stuff. Just a fun thing to watch for old time's sake. Man, this video was only 2 years ago, according to YouTube. Yet, I mean, a lot of it still applies, but damn, has the game evolved quite a bit since then. Alright, now let's see if we can find the other video that our friend Savior recommended. I'm not gonna watch it, but I'm gonna want to at least find it just so I could send it to you if you want to have fun with it. Okay, I'm guessing it's probably this video. The Beginner's Complete Guide to Starting Honkai Impact 3rd, 9 months ago. which is basically the beginning of this year. Woo! Okay, so obviously things have changed a lot over the past 9 months, so there are some parts you probably don't want to follow. But you know, uh, most of it's still probably relevant. You might want to be careful on the parts that talk about gearing some of the characters, just because of changes in priority. But yeah, otherwise most of the stuff should be good. Some parts are probably irrelevant just because they've either been removed from the game or just made simpler. But yeah, just be careful about the gacha stuff, just because some of it's, I wouldn't call it irrelevant, but you just have to judge it differently because things have changed since then. Yeah. But of course, if you ever have questions, you can always ask me. But yeah, anyways, thank you for stopping by for this interesting session, I suppose. It's always fun to look back on how the game has changed over the years and how you gotta adapt to all of it. Um, well, alright, yeah, I'm fine with answering them. Assuming that there are things that I can answer with like a yes or no, or like a specific answer rather than a vague one just because like it's a up to you type of thing. But yeah, um, I'll leave you to it. I'll be back tomorrow night. I think, probably maybe doing Act 2 for Honkai Impact, the Honkai Impact event. And we're up for a very busy week. Monday night will be Star Wars update. I will probably try and get the story for that update done that day because I will probably not be able to play Star Road over the next few days following just because I want to prioritize other things. Mainly, Tuesday night will be finishing the rest of the Destiny 2 story, as well as the same day that the Persona 3 Reload DLC will be dropping. And then I also believe later in the week, um, we will be streaming. I wouldn't be calling it a new game. It's a game I've been playing for a while, and it's definitely not new, but I decided to just take up the opportunity to use it as a hangout thing with my friend Pocky, who was here last week when we were playing Genshin. Because we both play that game, and the anniversary for that game is coming along. So we're like, hey, why not just use the opportunity to hang out and do some gotcha shenanigans with it? So that will happen sometime later next week. And yeah, we'll probably be doing non-stop streams for quite a bit, just because there's so much stuff I need to get through. But we'll see how things go. Um, they've been holding up just fine. Oh yeah, I guess I never addressed it. Since I never really brought it up, but when they refer by they slash them pronouns. Yeah, I never mentioned it before. It's okay. I mean, but yeah, I guess if you ever hear me refer to them, just they slash them is how they go about. No, it's okay. They're understanding about it, just as long as we learn. Um, but yeah, they're doing fine. If we're talking about the job hunting thing they were talking about, they tried going in Friday, but apparently the place was closed Friday, so they're gonna go back on Monday to check things out. Alright, but anyways, thank you for stopping by TD. I'll catch you tomorrow night. I hope that whenever I launch Discord, I'll see like 20 red messages asking about this and that. Well,